Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Buy up, buy up, buy up. In a menudo style, in a direct fashion, we're going to get straight to the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button thing. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun is kicking. And I appreciate the support, man. We're going up on this channel. It's all because of you. For that, I'm very humbled, very appreciative. So Wes Watson this and Wes Watson that, right? Now, there was a video that was put out yesterday, by John Bravo. Shout out John Bravo, man. His investigative skills are by far the best on YouTube, right? He does his thing. He does his homework. And, you know, he reached out to whoever he had to reach out to get some footage, to get the full footage of the alleged, and I want to say alleged with the capital A, right? The alleged Wes Watson incident. And, you know, as a content creator, we love entertaining people. And we've come to realize as content creators that drama, injustices, a whole lot of bullshit is what people like to see. You know, it's kind of like hood news, where you have the world news that's going on, man, and you're seeing the big things. Content creation is more aimed and geared towards the personal or the streets. Now, when it comes to Wes Watson, I've made several videos. Other people have made several videos just clowning, entertaining, having a good time, you know, dissecting the character of Wes Watson and all the bullshit and the funny shenanigans he's done as far as sticking his elbow in his asshole and all these different crevice things that he does, hanging around with the Sharmuta cartel. All that's fine and dandy. All that's cool. But this incident that Wes Watson allegedly has been involved in the gym, this gym attack or whatever, it's going a little too far now. It's going a little too far, and I'm going to take my horse up out of that race. And there's a reason why. You see, for many years, I lived the street life. I was a gang member. I was involved. Now, I've changed my life. I've taken a step back from that. But some of the things that I learned along the way still stick with me. And I still have morals about myself, right? And so when I see a situation where a man could possibly be incarcerated, I don't wish that upon anyone. And it's actually looking that way, right? With some of the footage that's been dropped lately, it's aimed and geared more towards trying to cancel this guy out as far as getting him locked up. Now, I don't care about his money situation. It's funny when we do content talking about, you know, how he's manipulating people into believing he's something that he's not. And I'm speaking on Wes Watson. That's cool. That's cool. Fuck him, right? Because he's not that. You know, he is not him. He is her. But when it comes to trying to get this man locked up, that's where I have to draw the line. And I have to say, you know, whether that man is guilty or innocent in that gym incident, that's not for me to speak on myself. Now, other content creators, John Bravo, shout out to everyone else, man, that's doing their thing, their investigative reporting. I am not an investigative reporter, not at all. I'm not a reporter, period. I'm not trying to report nothing other than the fact that, you know, when I first seen this incident, I said, oh, shit, look, Wes Watson, someone ran up on him in the gym. Aha, that's what he gets for acting like a dumbass and calling people out. And then once the footage started to roll in, and now it's rolling in the full package, you know, it comes to a point where it's just a little too violent. It's a little too vicious. It's a little too much to watch for me. And it's a situation where I don't want to be involved in helping the authorities in any type of way, you know, get this man locked up. Does Wes Watson deserve to be locked up? That's up for your interpretation. I don't want to see no man locked up unless he's a weirdo, you know, a chomo or something like that. Then you got to fucking go, homie. Right? But any man who is clearly defending themselves and maybe went a little too overboard, allegedly, you know, now you got to think about it like this. Let's look at it like this. And for those that haven't watched the John Bravo footage, he had to take the video down because YouTube felt it was a little too aggressive, a little too violent. And now he's re-put it up. So if you want to go tap in, go do your thing. That's up to you. But I'll tell you this, and this is real life. You have to put yourself in that situation. Okay? Say you're cornball Wes Watson. I know, it hurts. It hurts. And your ass will never be the same. But just say you're Wes Watson for one day, right? And you're in the gym, and a tall African-American man comes in And I even said it myself, man. He looked game goofy. He looked like the type of dude that was just in it for clout, or it was a setup. And a lot of people said he had mental issues. I don't know. I don't know the guy, right? Whether he was doing, obviously he was doing it for clout, because he set up his phone. He wanted to get a clip of him running up on Wes Watson, thinking that he would punk Wes Watson. Wes Watson would talk about his calves, and then he could post it online and say, look, I ran up on Wes Watson and punked him. Let's be real. This is what it is. I'm not defending Wes Watson. This is just fucking the truth. This is what I see in it. And with that being said, putting yourself in Wes Watson's situation, if that happens and a guy comes and he pushes you, what happens? What do you do? What the fuck do you do? Now, some people will turn the other cheek and just be like, hey, some people will just be like, nah, I'm not here for all that. And some people that have the mentality will get off where they're mad at. Now, regardless if you like Wes Watson or not, you have to look at it from a situation of what if it was you? What would have you had done? Because there's a lot of these high-powered individuals, I would have did this and I would have did that. The fact is, unless you're put in that situation, you never know what you're going to do. That's kind of like these dudes that talk about, oh, if I was interrogated by the cops, I'll never say nothing. I'll hold it down. I'll stay strong for my body, for my people. And then at the end of the day, you see this about to get out 6 months later, like, whopping, why did everyone else get 25 years and you got 6 months? Well, see, what happened was, bro, I'm going to do, what I mean? Yeah, of course, we know. The same person that was selling wolf tickets is the same person that cashed it in. That's usually how that goes, right? So with this whole Wes Watson thing, it's like, you got to place yourself and make your own judgment call. Do some people go overboard in certain situations? Absolutely. Absolutely. But if you've ever lived that life, you can't judge a man on whether he went a little overboard or he didn't. Now, in this situation, I've only seen clips. I've never seen actual blows land. So I will say that me, myself, I don't know what is what and who is what. I don't know if this was a setup. I don't know if this was staged. I don't know if this was the real deal. But I'll definitely say that coming from a point of view of an outsider, there's no way that I'm going to sit here and say that this is actual facts and this happened, because I'm not trying to put Wes Watson in jail. Now, I wondered why. If someone was really guilty of something like this, you have to think about it. If someone really did what's being alleged or what this video is showing, why isn't he locked up already? First of all, they fucking snatch you up, cuff you, ask questions later. You have to figure it out in a court of law, bail yourself out, go through all those type of shenanigans. I've been involved in assault cases or accused of assault cases, allegedly, right? And I had to bail out, man. I had to fight the case. I had to get a lawyer. I was arrested on the spot several times. Some I beat, some I didn't. That's just the truth. Now, when it comes to Wes Watson, you got to look at it from every angle. Okay? These were a group of white men, and I'm not being racial, I'm just being real, sitting in a gym minding their own business. And it looked like it. From the video footage that I've seen, if it's truth, it looked like Wes Watson and his homeboys were just kicking it, doing their own fucking thug thizzle, right? Minding his own. This black dude came in, set up his phone, and approached Wes Watson. Now, whether Wes Watson was involved in the setup and this was what was supposed to happen or not, this is what the video shows, right? And in a case like that, it's like, okay, you can't just approach someone, bro. I know it's a public setting, but it's a private gym. You can't just approach someone and get a little hostile, because what do you expect the dude to do? And what do you expect the people around him to do? They're going to feel some type of way. They're going to back their homeboy up. Not to say it's right. Now, if this guy had any mental issues that you could see right off the top, that's when you're like, hey, come on, bro, back up. You don't need this. You don't want this. This is going to get ugly for you, right? And that's why a lot of people are saying, hey, maybe this was a setup or stage because of the way it looked. Now, this footage that John Bravo put out yesterday, and if you noticed in the footage, man, and I understand as a content creator, John could not show the excessive violence on his channel because that could get you strikes, get you shut down. It's just not a good look. And YouTube doesn't allow the violence, right? So that's why it got took down the first time. Now he's re-put it up. How many blows were thrown or John Bravo's privy to watch the video, right? And we're not. We only see up into the point of before a blow lands. Now, this footage It's crazy how footage like this makes it to the internet before it makes it to the DA. And you know, it's a trip, right? It's a trip. And this has become a situation now where the more people keep showing this content and this footage, it's probably more than likely that Wes Watson's going to get, if not locked up, at least apprehended and talked to. And I've been told that authorities went to the gym. They already questioned him, whatever. He got kicked out of the gym. There's a lot of different stories going on with this. It's crazy how one single incident can just blow up on the internet and just turn into something bigger than it pretty much is. Now, there's been people, oh, Wes Watson had nothing on his knuckles. Oh, he used a belt or a pad. Listen, I don't know what happened with Wes Watson. For a minute there, I was watching and still am, right? Because I'm intrigued just like everyone else. But as far as this incident goes, I'm done. It's time to stop. You know, it's time where if you feel this way about Wes Watson one way or the other, and it's that serious, then you just do what you feel you have to do as a man to him. You know, I'm not saying this directly to John Bravo. Shout out John Bravo. I support his content. I love his content. And he's a civilian. So you have to understand that he's never been a part of that life, John Bravo. Okay. He doesn't hold no loyalty to anyone or any of the gang aspect or the gang life. He is a civilian. He is a regular person doing his content and bringing you guys what is popular, what people want to see. I respect it. But I myself, because I did live that life once upon a time, because I was a gang member, because there were certain morals and street codes, I have to still abide by those because people are going to look at me different, like I'm contributing to being a snitch or a rat or trying to place someone in jail. And regardless if I like the person, I respect the person or not, I respect myself enough to step back from this incident. So this will be the last video I'm doing referring to this incident, period. I don't give a fuck if the aliens or the drones came and assisted Wes Watson allegedly. I won't have nothing to do with it because I don't want to see this man locked up. I want to see this man get everything he has coming to him, and incarceration isn't one of the things I think he has coming to him. Now, I've been involved in street fights that I've never been caught in. There's a lot of you that are watching this that have been involved too. And shit just happens. If someone approaches you, he's taking the chance, man, to get his ass whooped. And that's exactly what this is. That man, if this is all real, that man ran up trying to make a video clout chase and got his ass allegedly whooped. That's it. Chalk it up to the game. Now, I know a lot of us don't care for Wes Watson for whatever reasons we have. Me, it's not that I dislike Wes Watson. I just think he's an easy book to open and be entertained by. It's just clowning. It's having a good time. It's entertainment, right? He is the chosen one of YouTube to clown on because he just makes it so easy and he lies so much, right? That it's fun. But at the end of the day, we don't want to see anyone pass. We don't want to see anyone locked up. We don't want to see that. What happens if Wes Watson gets locked up? The views, the content, everything goes away. We'll talk about it for a minute. Hey, guess what? Wes Watson got arrested. He got locked up. And then just like Crip Mac, just like Blueface, just like all these other guys that get incarcerated, Flacco from a convict perspective, you forget about them. You know, you'll remember, but you forget. They're no longer relevant because they're no longer consistent with their content or they're no longer on YouTube like that. And it's just what it is, right? So with this new footage that came out, my take on it is I'm going to choose not to watch it myself, right? Because I don't want to be privy to anything that's going to come back to haunt a man. You know, I understand Wes Watson did what he did if he did that allegedly, right? Read between those lines. And I just placed myself in that situation. What would I have done? If I'm in the gym with my homeboys, some black dude or any kind of color dude runs up on me, I'm taking flight. I have to. I got to look out for myself and for my peoples. And if my homeboy takes flight, guess what? I'm probably going to rock with him. You know, that's the mentality. Coming as being a gang member, see, that's the mentality a lot of people won't understand. They believe they give them a fair one. Jumping is fucked up. This, and that. But when you live that gang life, man, it's one for all for one, right? Hey, if you put fingers on my homeboys, you touch my homeboy, you're going to get it. We're all going to get you. And I know it's a fucked up mentality, but it's the mentality we grew up to. That's what being a gang member, it's a gang. A gang of motherfuckers going to stomp you out. Now, in this situation, Wes Watson is not a gang member. Wes Watson does come from the mentality of the San Diego streets. He does come from the mentality of prison. You know, whether or not this was just his perfect opportunity to find a victim and show off for the camera, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be the judge of that. There's a judge and a jury for a reason, and we're not part of that. Okay, so I think as people, we need to understand that, you know, participation in getting this guy locked up is not cool at all. Now, I'm not saying that John Bravo at all is doing that. You know, he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't have to be loyal to anyone in this situation. And he's just bringing you guys the stone cold hard facts as he sees them and exposing the intricacies and the details into what this shit was really about. That's just like me doing a video yesterday on Big Boy. It's not to get Big Boy hurt. It's not to get Big Boy caught up. It was just to show you that sometimes guys mischaracterize themselves. Sometimes guys haven't done as much time as people perceive them to. And it's just showing you. And I got it from the homie Hangouts channel, Rascal. Shout out to Rascal, man, for doing his due diligence and his homework. And all I showed you guys was the fact that, or told you guys, didn't even show you, man. Rascal did that. I just told you guys how I felt about that situation, my perspective on how this guy is living the convict life and really eating off the convict life when he wasn't really too much of a convict, you know, and that's just a fact. Now, with this Wes Watson shenanigan situation, you know, it is what it is. It happened. I think as people, you know, we need to understand and let things go before it gets ugly. You know, do you really want to see Wes Watson locked up? There's people like, hell yeah. Why? Now, if he beat up someone who had mental problems, he's a piece of shit. There's no doubt about it, right? But he's not touching kids. He's not forcing himself on women. He's not beating up on women, allegedly, right? We've heard about that in the past. But I'm saying he's not doing Diddy shit. And so to me, the convict mentality that I have, the real convict mentality that I have, I just cannot be involved in pushing that narrative whatsoever on Wes Watson to get him locked up, because it's not the get down, bro. You know, for me, I'm just saying, you know, so I'm going to step back from that. Again, shout out to John Bravo for bringing you guys exclusives. If you guys want to tap in. You know, I know it takes a lot to do what he does, man, to expose these type of situations. And I know that people feel a certain type of way about Wes Watson more than others do. Some people hate his guts because of the ego, the narcissist ways, you know, the way he manipulates and tricks people. I don't hate his guts. I dislike this caricature that he's created, this mockery of people that have actually done time and been incarcerated, this mockery of people that have actually been in the armed forces, him claiming to be a Navy SEAL, the mockery of women, the mockery of people that don't have money and are out of shape. I believe that right there in itself is a piece of shit move. And he's someone that thinks he's better than everyone else because he has more money than certain people. Not everyone else, but certain people. And in that, money doesn't make you, man. Money could break you. You know, now this incident right here, this gym incident, again, like I say, put yourself in his fucking shoes without socks because he don't wear them. And imagine how you would do and what you would do. And, you know, if you would want to have a million people making videos about you that are ultimately going to get you locked up, you know, again, we don't know if this shit is real, if this shit was staged, if this shit, you know, but according to the videos that John Bravo put out, it's pretty damaging, man. It's pretty damaging. And it's the full scope of things. And again, man, like I said, this guy, he asked for it. He went and set up his little camera and thought he was going to play Wes Watson, and Wes Watson got him, allegedly. You know, how he got him and to what degree he got him, I don't know. But he definitely didn't fall into what that guy thought Wes Watson was going to fall into. What most of us thought. You know, Wes Watson called so many people out. Again, it's Wes Watson's fault as well. It's everyone's fault, everyone involved. You know, all the way from the gym owner to Wes Watson, because, you know, you didn't have proper security. It wasn't proper precautions taken with someone like Wes Watson, who makes idle threats to people and initiates people to come in on him. You know, all this shit factors into it, man. All I'm going to say is, again, I don't want to see anyone get incarcerated out of this, because you know what could happen, man? People are like, Wes Watson, and they can fuck around and arrest all his friends and not him because he has more money than them. Let's see what type of dude he is if the bail game is real, you know, when it comes to his homies. All I said was I don't want to be in it, and I'm not going to push that narrative. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I honestly and truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. We need to stop, reanalyze the situation, and understand that all drama is not good drama. And sometimes, man, a guy's livelihood, his life, everything is at stake here. Do you want to be a part of the problem or part of the solution? It's fun to be entertained, but not at the expense of someone being locked up or killed. That's never a good thing. Bang, bang, the gun.